Hello, my name is Kate Harrison, and I want to talk today about some of the things you can do to help you reach out and feel less isolated if you're suffering from depression. Now, I have had a number of episodes of depression in my life, and I think for me, one of the hardest parts of that is the sense that you end up feeling separate from everybody else. You end up feeling, yeah, really not part of the outside world anymore. And yet, the longer that goes on, the more daunting it can become to try and take steps to get back into that world. So, I've got a number of ideas here for simple ways to reach out to just help you feel a little bit more connected. Number one is thinking about safe places and spaces to have a really simple chat with somebody. So that might be the local cafe where you always get a really good smile when you go in from the owner, or it might be a local shop where you know that the people there really understand their stuff and are passionate about what they do. Brace yourself, decide that you're going to go in there and you're going to literally have a really short conversation the next time you go and buy something or the next time you go and sit for a coffee. Plan it a bit in advance if you like, but just go in there, and the chances are that people will respond in kind. It's a simple interaction, but it's something that can make you feel a lot better. My second suggestion is to pay somebody a compliment. It's something that I think when we become very inward looking, we stop noticing people. But if you actually go out there with the express intention of looking for something nice to say about somebody else, you get a double benefit. You make their day, and you also encourage a really nice warm response back. It's very few people that won't respond to a compliment, even if you're British. Sometimes we tend to brush it off a bit, but you know that you've made that person's day. My third idea involves dogs, either borrowing a dog or just going and chatting to some dog owners. We got our first dog as adults just under 3 years ago now, and I have to say I get so much more social interaction action as a result. I never realised quite how dramatic it would be. So if you have a neighbour who wants their dog walked, well, borrow it. Uh, and you'll realise straight away that everybody wants to talk. It's a great, again, in a very British kind of way. Often we need an excuse to talk, and the behaviour of a dog, good, bad, or indifferent, the cuteness of a dog will always give us a topic. If you don't really know dogs very well, but you would like to see this in reality without making any kind of investment in even walking one, just go to a local park where there are a lot of dogs hanging around and compliment somebody's dog or ask them a question about them. I promise you, 10 minutes later, you'll still be chatting. And, they're funny as well. They're great fun to watch. Option number four, or my fourth idea, is to ask somebody for advice. It could be about something you want to buy in a shop, it could be about paint colour, it could just be about a dress, whatever you like. People find it incredibly flattering to be asked for advice. It's great to feel you're an expert on somebody, and you can find then that that interaction is quite a simple one. It's not high risk, but it'll end up making that person feel useful, and you might well get some useful information out of it. My fifth idea is to reach out online, and for a number of years we've heard the worst about the internet and so on, and people have said, oh, online it's terrible because everyone is there like a keyboard warrior and they're not reaching out. And certainly, there are risks associated with being online a lot, but there are also benefits. And one of the best sources of support I've found all round about all kinds of things, health issues, ideas, my career, is Facebook groups. Um, you have to pick carefully because some can be a bit negative, but you soon get a sense of where you feel at home, and you can make real life friends from Facebook groups. I've gone out then and met people, but there is something safe, I think, about being in a group where you can take a little bit of time to consider your response. You can read through and you can get useful advice from people who are in the same position as you or share the same passions. So it might be a support group about depression and anxiety, or it might be about knitting, or it might be about dogs. I'm in a great group about border terriers that gives me a smile every single day. And it can be a really good place to begin to reach out again, to feel part of the world without it being too high risk. My final idea actually doesn't involve words at all because I know that when I'm feeling low, my head gets full of thoughts, repetitive, cyclical thoughts. And one thing I've found great for moving away from that is actually another app and another online thing, which is Instagram. I don't take the best photographs in the world, but I just love taking a picture and being able to post it and getting people's reactions to it, and also looking at other people's pictures. It might be of delicious food, or it might be of amazing place in the world. Um, it might be selfies. I don't tend to go for those as much, but even that can be really funny as you see how somebody's presenting themselves and what they've got behind them. So I find just joining up Instagram has actually given me a really big boost. I love kind of posting something, food or other entertaining aspects, and yeah, see if it works for you. It doesn't work for everyone, but sometimes you can get real solace from finding like-minded people in whatever way. So those are some of my ideas for reaching out, and I think that, you know, even on a small level, being able to reach out and feel a bit more part of the outside world, even for the briefest moment, can be a real boost if you're suffering from depression. And just before I go, one of the reasons I'm talking about depression at the moment is that I've been working with two fantastic writers and experts, Sarah Rayner and Dr. Patrick Fitzgerald, and then me, Kate, on this little book, Making Friends with Depression, which is a warm and wise companion to support you through dark times. I really wanted to get involved in this because I've learned quite a lot through my own experiences with depression about what can help me feel better short term and also long term. And this book is really packed with ideas for self care and self help, but also really sensible, practical information about making the best of healthcare that's available, considering medication, other kind of therapies. It's an all round companion. And if you feel it might be useful, do check it out online. It's available through Amazon. That's it for now, and I just want to wish you the very best of luck in your recovery and your route to feeling a lot better.